All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. My thanks, by the way, to Pat Cassell for taking some time to come in. Always fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was certainly a lot of fun. And, of course, Mr. X, the Hollywood conservative, and Fran Riordan, the general manager. I shouldn't say general manager, the manager of the Aviators. I do get those confused from time to time. Sticking on the subject of sports and sexuality, talk a little bit about Aces center Liz Cambage. So Liz Cambage is a WNBA All-Star. She is a solid player on the Las Vegas Aces, make no mistake about it. And I think it's very fair to say that. I mean, to each his own, but she's very attractive, too. She's very pretty, very attractive, and seems to have a pretty good personality, too. Certainly in the interviews that we've had with her and meeting her, she seems a pretty cool person to talk to, too. So you want to talk about the full package. And the Aces are, by the way, are having a great year. Bill Laimbeer is doing a fantastic job. So she has posed nude for ESPN the magazine, The Body Issue, where they feature 21 athletes. It's the 11th annual Body Issue. And she talked a little bit about how it was a little weird for her to, pose naked in front of 15 to 20 people, because when you do these shoots, it's not just like one or two people there, right? There's a lot of people in a room, and when you take your clothes off in front of a lot of people,
and if you look at the actual, I've actually looked at the issue, and there's videos, and it shows the whole entire setup and the infrastructure, and it's definitely like an actual production.
It's a whole production, right? Exactly. So, as I said, she said it was pretty crazy. I was naked in front of like 15 to 20 people. She also has modeled on social media, so she's not afraid of the camera, which I think probably helped her in this situation. But look, the bottom line is
she's also a DJ. She DJ'd a party at the Flamingo Pool a couple weeks ago.
She's a very talented lady.
She is.
But again, she has posed, not naked, but she's posed, for modeling pictures, so on and so forth. As I said, she's an athlete. She's very attractive and good personality and all that stuff. But she made some interesting comments about sexuality and posing naked, and I wanted to share those with you, and then I'll give you my take and I guess my opinion on this. She said, in regards to posing naked, she was asked, what type of reaction are you hoping to get? She said, I don't know. It just conveys a totally different side of me, I guess. I think we live in a world as well where nudity is so sexualized. There is I'm just showing you my power. My naked body isn't a sexual thing. It's my identity. It's mine. And that's something I get really frustrated with. It's like, why are people showing skin? You're just trying to be a sexual object or trying to sexualize everything. It's like, no, I'm just enjoying the sunshine, or I'm enjoying the beach, or I'm proud of my body. I think that's something I'm really proud of as well, being able to bare my skin and not over-sexualizing anything. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, first of all, I agree with you. You should be comfortable in your own skin. You should be proud of your body.
Especially if she's, and she's clearly worked for that body.
Right, but
she spent a lot of time getting that body.
I understand, but let's just call this for what it is, at least in my opinion, and you can tell me if you, JD, agree or not with me. When you take your clothes off, okay, and you are attractive, to each his own, I guess, it is going to be sexualized. Make no mistake about it. Now, I would say the same thing about a man. If a man takes all of his clothes off, it is going to be sexualized. So when she says, I'm just showing you my power, I disagree. You're also showing other things. You're showing your nude behind. You're showing, now, look, ESPN the magazine, it's not like Playboy or a raunchy magazine. They're not showing anybody with their legs spread wide open. She would never do that, I'm sure. They're not even showing nips. Can I say that on the air?
You can see
the contour of their body.
You can see their contour, their behind, their full behind.
But is she complicit?
And nothing in front and nothing below.
Right, but is she complicit? Let's be honest here. Sex sells. It sells. And when a man, make no mistake about it, when a man hears that a professional athlete, a woman or man, whatever your sexuality is going to be posing nude, the first thing most people think about, it's a sexual thought. And I'm trying to be as honest as I can.
It's really unique too, because she is 6'8", 218 pounds.
Yeah.
She is a very, very large woman.
Yeah.
But she's very well put together.
She's attractive, yes.
And she's kind of a strange bird. She's said on multiple occasions that she's going to be done with basketball next year.
When she says my naked body isn't a sexual thing, well, maybe to her, has she ever looked at another naked body and not thought of it as a sexual thing? Look, I don't know what her sexual preference is, but when she says, quote, my naked body isn't a sexual thing, well, maybe to her.
I just think it's good for the WNBA. It's good. It's good for the WNBA for someone like her to get the attention that I believe, considering how unique she is. She's from Australia. She's not in America. I mean, she's not from the United States of America. She's just here to play basketball, and she's only going to play for a couple more years. Then she's going to go home, and she's stated this several times. She's going to go home and start a family. She has her whole life planned out, so she's kind of an interesting person.
I don't disagree with what you just said, but what the hell is she talking about, with all due respect, when she says my naked body isn't a sexual thing? What the hell is she talking about?
That's why I say she's a strange bird, because clearly it is a sexual thing. It has to be.
What do you think when the ESPN people were putting this together? That, well, we don't want to sexualize this, but you know what? Let's just get all these athletes to pose naked. Of course they're sexualizing it. What is she talking about? Does she think a man is going to look at her naked body and nothing sexual? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at an attractive female. Hold on, I'm going to look at an attractive female, and the first thing that's going to rise, wow, look at the power she is showing. It is a natural thing to talk about sexuality.
In these photos, all of these athletes they're not in seductive photos. They're not in seductive positions. They don't have seductive looks on their faces. They have their genitalia covered by whatever sports. Say it's right. Rob Gronkowski did it a couple of years ago. He had a football in front of his genitalia. I mean, so ESPN's not trying to sexualize it. They're just saying that what they're trying to do is they're trying to show you what type of athlete, what type of bodies these professional athletes really have. Like, well, how much work they put into it and how unique their entire makeup is compared to everybody else. At least that's the way that I look at it. And I agree. I don't believe that ESPN is overly sexualizing these athletes.
I didn't say that.
Okay, I don't think that they are. But now, when you see a naked woman, at least when her nipples are exposed and her lower area is exposed, and her legs are spread, and vice versa for men, that is definitely over-sexualized.
I didn't say they were over-sexualizing.
No, but that would be sexualized. I don't believe that ESPN is overly sexualizing these athletes in this situation.
I didn't say that.
I think it's more of a showcase to, like, you look at, and I'll just be honest, I'm not a homosexual man, but Saquon Barkley, I'm not.
I thought you were.
But you look at the 2018 issue, Saquon Barkley is one of the most.
Hold on, we're gonna have to get JD some conversion therapy.
Is one of the most physically impressive human beings I've ever seen in my entire life.
You missed it.
I heard what you said, but it was totally off base. It was. I'm being serious right now.
I'm sorry. Some of these
athletes are
I've
just.
done a 2 hour and 45 minute show. I can't be serious.
Some of these athletes,
show.
I mean, female or male, they are literally built like Greek gods, and that is what ESPN is trying to showcase. In my opinion,
I get your point. I'm going to try to speak in layman's terms. And by the way, I didn't mean that. You don't need conversion therapy. Not that there's anything wrong with being a homosexual.
Are you judging me, Brian?
About that. I am judging you. Yes.
Fair.
I find it weird that you had to say that you were not a homosexual. I don't really care. Anyway, going back to what we were saying, I'm just being honest as a human being right now. Okay, when I open up a magazine and I see an attractive female, whether she's exposed, her nipples are exposed, or when I see a naked woman who is attractive, the first thing that comes to my mind is not, oh my God, look at the power she is showing. No, the first thing I'm thinking in my head, and maybe both heads, and maybe that's my fault for thinking that way, but the first thing to my mind is a sexual thought. I'm checking out her body. That is a normal human reaction, and I am not going to apologize for it. And when she says my naked body isn't a sexual thing, it makes her sound like, don't look at me as a sexual object. You're posing naked in a magazine, okay? Now, we look at you.
But she's not posing naked in a sexual manner.
When you take your clothes off, that is sexual. I'm sorry, it is. It is a natural human reaction when you look at a naked body to think of something sexual. That doesn't mean you're a pig. It doesn't mean you lose respect for somebody. I respect her. She's an unbelievable basketball player. She seems like a very nice person. When you take your clothes off, I'm going to think of something sexual.
That being said, if I'm her competition and I'm looking at these photos and I know that I have to go up against her in a couple of days, that to me is, okay, that's kind of powerful. That's a little intimidating. Seeing a 6'8", 220-pound woman with very little body fat.
You're telling me
if I'm her competition, I'm thinking, wow, that's what I have to go up against. That strikes a little bit of fear into me. I believe maybe she's coming from that angle.
I don't know if you're attracted to her, but let's just say, for example, I'll name a few other people. I don't know. Let's just say Sue Bird, by the way, did pose in this magazine.
Yeah, with Megan Rapinoe.
Right. You're telling me when you see Sue Bird with her clothes off, the first thing that enters your mind is not something sexual? Be honest. When you look at Sue Bird without her clothes on, the first thing that enters your mind is not something sexual.
Well, look at the photos. You can
I'm just
see,
asking you.
You can see full thigh, a little bit of butt, and most of the contours of the body.
That's enough for me. Maybe I'm just more horny than you. I don't know.
That's fine, and it's not that it's not sexual, but I see where ESPN is coming from, trying to make it more about the athlete themselves and how they're built and why they're so successful.
Look, they're doing
in
it
what
in
they do.
a tasteful manner. I'm not saying that this is raunchy. I never said that. I'm just saying when Liz Cambage says my naked body isn't a sexual thing, and she's getting all up and bothered over it and angry. Look, nobody's forcing you to take your clothes off.
She shouldn't be getting angry about it.
She seems like she's angry. Look, there's nothing wrong with a man looking at your body being sexually turned on by it. It doesn't mean all they look at with you is as a sexual object. But if you don't like that, then you shouldn't have posed in the magazine. I would imagine they probably paid her a lot of money to do it. I don't understand what she's saying. I'm sorry for you Liz Cambage Aces fans out there. She's making no sense. She says, I'm just enjoying the sunshine when I'm naked, or I'm just enjoying the beach. I'm proud of my body. Well, guess what? You're not on a private beach right now. You're public in a magazine, and you're getting paid a lot of money to take your clothes off. So if men want to look at you and admire your thighs or your butt or whatever, they have the right to do so. Stop telling me your body isn't a sexual thing when you're taking your clothes off. It is a natural human response to think of something sexual. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. When you see somebody with their clothes off, that is a natural reaction. It is a sexual thing, Liz. I'm sorry, with all due respect, you're wrong. Try to squeeze in a couple brief phone calls here at 257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. We got a few minutes left here. We'll try to squeeze in a few calls if we can on the GCI Guys hotline. Again, that number, 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Why don't we start off with Mike? Mike, thank you for calling into the Vegas Take. Mike, what's on your mind?
What's up, Mike?
Good day to you, gentlemen. I just want to know, this is serious, I really don't know, are there any transgenders in sports yet? And will the place kicker, if she's hired, will that ease the next phase of putting a transgender in sports if there isn't one in there now?
Mike, I do think something is going to happen in the near future.
MMA. There was an MMA fighter.
It's going to happen. There's going to be a transgender probably in the WNBA is my guess in the near future. I think it's going to happen.
That would be completely ridiculous, and they shouldn't allow that to happen.
I just believe it's going to happen.
Well, that'd be very dangerous.
Isn't it already in soccer down under?
That I don't know, but I'll tell you this, and I'm going to be very clear on this. As much as I try not to look at people and judge them based on gender and all that stuff, if you are born a man, and you have the surgery, and you think you can go into a sport like the WNBA, that cannot happen.
And I'll tell you,
cannot happen.
I'll tell you why I think it's going to happen, because it's going to increase ratings. It's going to add attention.
I don't think it's going to happen.
It's going to make money for the
it's
league.
dangerous.
And the league is losing money hand over fist right now.
It is ridiculous.
It doesn't make a difference. It'll bring attention to the league, which will increase revenue. That's why I think it's going to happen.
It's the wrong attention. I don't think it's going to happen in the WNBA. Could not disagree with you more.
I hope not. And also, gentlemen, who is going to be the first person, the first man who dares to tackle that lady and hurt her?
Well, that's another good point. I don't think that would ever happen.
Well, kickers don't get tackled very often.
It doesn't matter.
But I mean,
it's not going to happen.
Someone's going to eventually, someone's going to, if she has to run a ball back or something, I mean,
mark my words, Mike. I hear what you're saying, and it's a valid point you're making, but Mike, mark my words, and I believe I'm right on this one. We're not going to see it happen. You're not going to see someone born a woman that has the transgender surgery that's ever going to make it to the NFL, number one. That's not going to happen. And it's not vice versa. You're not going to see someone born a man completely unfair.
I hope not. I hope they keep it pure, but I'm just wondering that lady who – they're going to attack the first person that hammers the lady place kicker if she gets hired.
Well, it shouldn't happen. I'm going to hammer anybody that allows a person born a woman to play on a men's team, because it's utterly ridiculous. It's not fair, and people are going to get hurt. That's who I'm going to hammer.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mike.
Day.
Thank you. 257-5396. We're almost here at the end of the show. But again, the bottom line is I just don't see that happening. I just don't see it happen. I mean, it did happen in the MMA briefly. Don't think it's going to happen again. It's dangerous for the sport. It's dangerous for the individuals involved. If you want to do whatever you want to do with your body, I have no problem with that. But don't you tell me if you're born a man and then have surgery a woman that you still don't have testosterone in your body. You wouldn't have a huge advantage on the field or in the ring. It is completely ridiculous. It shouldn't happen. It is what you are born as. Do whatever you want with your body. But if you're going to talk about athletics, and if you're born a man and then you're a transgender and you're switched into a woman, you cannot be competing with women. It is completely unfair and it is ridiculous. And vice versa the other way. If you're born a woman and you transgender into a man and you're performing with professional, let's just say basketball players or football players, first of all, you're not going to be able to make it onto that team, I don't think, number one. And number two, you're going to get hurt. It cannot happen. But on a lighter note of things, I am going to be looking at Liz Cambage. I'm going to watch her with her clothes off.
Oh, and it's Cambage, Brian. Cambage.
I'm sorry, I pronounced her name wrong. And there's a chance I might be sexually aroused. And by the way, I'm not going to apologize for it. Sorry, Liz. Not going to do it. Why does everybody call, by the way, when I give out the number? People call at the end of the show. We got to go now. So tomorrow on the show, we're going to have a lot of fun. I promise you that. UNLV head football coach Tony Sanchez will be joining us. TMZ's Mike Babcock will be joining us as well. So a loaded show lined up for you tomorrow. We will certainly touch on a number of topics. What's the next stupid thing that Donald Trump will say? I promise you we'll get to that tomorrow as well. Everybody have a great afternoon. Mr. Sean Hannity coming up next. Thanks for joining us on the Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.